Happy Monday, you guys. It is August 27th. Tonight's topic is talking about posting with purpose. I'm just going to get straight to the point here. I wanted to talk about this because I know that there's a handful of you that are new and you are struggling to post. And really, I'm only assuming that because you don't post consistently. And I've explained that that is part of what you need to be doing to grow your brand, to grow your business. You need to be showing up on social media daily. Um, and by doing so, you need to be posting with intent and not posting just to post, because it's going to feel forced. You're not going to enjoy it. I remember going through, phases, and I still do from time to time, when I just feel like I don't have anything to say, I don't have anything to share, and it's almost daunting to try and post something. But then I get anxiety over the thought of not posting because I know that I should be. So 99% of the time you need to be showing up on social media, even on your shittiest days. Those are honestly the days when you need to show up the most, not only for yourself, but for your business. And I'm going to explain this a little bit more later on. But your struggles, that's what is going to help your business the most. And it might not seem that way, because you might feel like that as a coach, as a social media influencer, that you need to constantly have your shit together and be on top of everything and be a constant ball of positive energy. That's not true. So tonight I'm going to give you some ideas so that, each day when you're trying to figure out, okay, what do I post? How do I type this out? How do I share this? How do I come up with content? I'm going to give you some basic things that go through my mind before I go to post. If I don't already have an idea of what I want to share, sorry, phone, so that you can do it quickly and not have to spend 10 to 15 minutes on a post. Not even 5 minutes sometimes. Just get stuff out there, and then how you can really use, like I said, your struggle to add value to the people that are watching you and following you. In regards to where I post, I think I've shared this. I know I've shared this with you guys before. I am on Facebook and Instagram. For the most part, I just share the same content. I copy and paste and use the same pictures. I'm a little bit more open and myself when I talk, aka type out a caption for a post on Instagram. I do still filter myself just a little bit more on Facebook. If you know me, I use the F word a lot, not to be mad, but it's just what I use when I'm passionate about something. And I will carelessly use that on Instagram, not over the top. But on Facebook, I'm not quite comfortable with that just because I know there's a lot more adults, and being in a small community, serving on city council and teaching in a dance studio with a lot of parents that I'm friends with on there, that's just the only time that I really hold myself back. So I'm a lot more just don't give a shit on Instagram. So I feel it's a little bit easier to post there, but regardless. So, each day I make it a point to post either early in the morning or late at night. Because in terms of social media, that's when most people are on and they're scrolling. First thing in the morning when they wake up and they're still laying in bed. Think about the time, you don't necessarily want to post it when people are getting ready for work. So if you're someone that is up at 5 a.m. with your workout done, that's a good time to post around 5:30 or 6. Then if you think about it, between 6:30 and 8 o'clock, that's when a lot of parents and people are getting their kids ready, getting themselves ready for work, and they're not just necessarily scrolling. And then late at night, that's when they're winding down for the day. They're on the couch or they're in bed again, scrolling. Sometimes around lunchtime, that can be good. Late afternoon can be fine too. Again, if people are at work and they can have their phones out, that type of thing. So make sure that you are being intentional about the time of day that you post. And you can, you'll kind of have to play around with that and figure out what works best for you and your audience. Everyone's going to be different. A college student might be able to post a lot more or they might get better traction at a lot of different times throughout the day. Whereas, a mom that's a coach that works corporate 9 to 5, and her audience is the same type of people, like she's only going to have those specific windows of early in the morning or late at night when her audience is going to be watching. So you're just going to have to figure that out if you haven't already. And sometimes it changes, honestly, like with the seasons. Like in the winter, it's dark sooner, so people are like winding down earlier, compared to, summertime, people are out later. So you might have to kind of play around with that. And then like weekends are totally different too. Because, late at night on a Monday, people are sitting on their couch eating ice cream, whereas, late at night on a Friday, people are out at the bar and they're not necessarily scrolling their Instagram because they're bored. Maybe they are. I don't know. So anyway, that's something that you need to think about when you're being intentional with your post. But anyway, in terms of creating the content, these are the questions that I ask myself if I'm like struggling to come up with a post. Like sometimes I'll just be like in the middle of my workout or in the middle of my day and something monumental, no, just something will happen and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to share this. I need to make a post. But that doesn't always happen. And so I have to get creative. Like you're a social media influencer. Your social media it's like your storefront. It's like your book. It's like your magazine cover. You have to create content. If you want to take this business seriously, you can't just expect to, share all the beach body photos and all the beach body like stuff that they already create and just share it. No, like you have to create your own stuff because you are your own person. You have to write your own story. And so things that I'll ask myself, number one, like, okay, is there something I'm struggling with today? Could I share that? But make sure that you end the post with a positive note. You don't just want to be like, oh, I'm really struggling today. I can't get my workout in. And then leave it at that. You either want to talk about like what you are doing right now to overcome that or what you did to overcome it. Example, today I really did not want to work out. I really contemplated just skipping it. But I ended up doing it. And so my post could have been, a picture of me either like before, after, or during my workout and say something like, I know it's the first day of the week and everyone should be motivated to kill their first workout, but that's just not me today. And that right there is just sharing something that other people are going to struggle with, because I'm not the only person that probably didn't want to work out today. There's probably a bunch of other people who felt the same way. So by putting that out there, that's going to relate. People are going to relate to that. But then I end it with, thank goodness for my boot camp girls already checking in with their workouts because they totally inspired me to get my butt up off the couch. And that right there, hints at what I do with my boot camp and my challenge groups. So that'll either like strike some curiosity for some people or be like, wait, what is she talking about? Or people that know that I already do one and they've never done it. Today could have been a day that they were struggling too. And them seeing that post, they might be like, okay, well, if that's helping her, maybe it would help me. And maybe they would reach out to me that day. So that's something that I do. I could go into a ton of other examples that you might be struggling with. I guess like to give you some examples for what you might do, to talk about the coaching opportunity as well. Say like later this week, I need to go grocery shopping. There have been a ton of times where I like tell myself, okay, you're going into Walmart and you are only getting these things because you do not have the budget to afford anything else right now. And like say this Thursday, I get like a freaking awesome paycheck. I can share about that. Like yesterday I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to afford groceries for the week, but today it's payday in the coaching world and it's like an enormous weight has been lifted off my shoulders. It's short and sweet. I'm not like typing this long ass novel for people to have to read. That's the thing. Like you have to also differentiate between like making short posts and long posts. And the more often you do it, the easier it'll be to come up with the really short yet effective and influential posts. So that you don't have to constantly be writing out like 5 paragraphs to explain the struggle and, the victory in the end. So that's something that I do. Number two that I'll ask myself is like, what resonated with me today? It might be something as simple as like when I'm doing my Lift4 workout, if Joel says something, gosh, I don't even know, but just says something that like just really clicked with me. I could be like, holy shit, like he is right. That just opened my eyes. And I don't have a good example right now. I'm sorry. But I could just share that along with a workout selfie or whatever. Number three, what is something that my challengers are struggling with or that my challengers were asking about today? Because like if they have questions for me, obviously other people outside of my boot camp are going to have that same type of question, so I can share that and literally be like, a girl in my boot camp asked today, or posted today saying she's struggling to get back on track. I don't know. I'm trying to like think of a good example right now. Trying to think of what somebody posted today. Nobody really had any big struggles, and well, that's a good thing. But just like, just putting that out there so that people know. I'm trying to think. I don't even need to like reference that a challenger asked it, but just like thinking of like, okay, what are some of the common questions that I get in my Instagram messages or on my Facebook all the time? And addressing that. And that kind of leads me to my fourth point here is like, what are some common hesitations and myths that I get? And I've been sharing this a lot more lately in terms of the coaching opportunity. A lot of girls that I talk to about coaching, they're like, I would love to do it, but I don't have time. So I will start my post out with, how many of you would love to do what I do, but you don't have time? And that right there is going to strike a chord with some people. It's going to catch their attention. And then I can just briefly explain, when I started this business, I was in college, 19 years old. I literally worked my business 30 to 45 minutes a day. This is really bad. But just, sharing those things, or like when a lot of people, I'll invite somebody to a boot camp and they're like, well, I would love to, but sorry, I don't like to work out at home. I can do that in my post. Like I can take a picture of myself at the gym and be like, loving these workouts lately. I know a lot of girls are hesitant to join a boot camp with me because they think it can only be done at home, but you can totally take it anywhere. This program works for anybody. There is a simple, easy post. Number 5, things that I'll consider non-scale victories. Like you have to celebrate the fuck out of yourself on social media publicly, and don't be ashamed to. Like, yeah, don't brag and don't be arrogant, but like when you're dropping weight, when you're making progress, like you should be sharing whatever program you're doing. You should be sharing your weekly progress, no matter how small. And like getting freaking pumped about it. Even if you're down 1 pound and you're like, 1 pound. I want you to act like that's fucking 10 pounds that you lost in a week, and you are going to go scream it and be friggin' excited for yourself because you know that you've worked hard and you're putting in the effort, and you're going to share that on social media. Because number 1, it's going to show people that what you're doing is working. And then number 2, they're going to be like, dude, if she's that excited about that, like, I wonder how I would feel if I did that. Or, even just something as simple as like another girl that maybe is already doing stuff on her own and she's lost 1 pound too, and maybe she was feeling down about it. Her just seeing your post, she may be like, wow, no, I should be excited about that because that's progress. Sharing things like that, non-scale victories, your clothes fitting better or just making better eating choices this week than you did last week, not skipping your workouts, feeling more confident when you go to the gym, if you're a gym goer, that type of thing. Or like just feeling more confident when you go out shopping, like even if you aren't buying smaller clothes, just the fact that you have more self-love and self-appreciation for yourself, those things. And then last thing, this is kind of going to segue into a little bit more specifics on sharing your story and sharing your pain points. the old you versus the current you. I don't want to say the new you, but the current you. Um, you might have heard the term pain points before, but like these are the things that are really going to get people to relate and resonate with what you have to share. And let's be honest, most people make decisions based on emotion. So, I could go and share a workout selfie and just be like, day 3 done, feeling good. Okay, that's cool. Some people might be excited for me, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, really, digging in and not like, I don't want you to feel like you're being over dramatic, because sometimes I feel that way. But, again, when I ask myself those questions, like, okay, what am I struggling with today? Maybe I was struggling with, getting to the gym that day just because I was like feeling bloated and I just like wasn't having the best body image day and I didn't really want to go to the gym, but I told myself that I would feel better if I did, not just because I'm getting my workout in, but because I'm stepping outside my comfort zone and getting uncomfortable. And so this these type of posts are ones that I want you to be posting once or twice a week, really dialing in on the pain points in your story and reflecting back on the old you prior to Beachbody or prior to whatever like program you're doing right now. So like for me, something that I could really hone in on is back at the start of January before 80 Day Obsession. I could not get myself to go to the gym because I hated how big I'd gotten. I hated how my clothes didn't fit. I literally didn't want people at the gym to see me because I knew that the last time they had seen me was like bikini prep time and I was shredded. And I didn't want them to see how much weight that I had gained. And so I literally was not going to the gym. And I could hardly get myself to work out at home. And when 80 Day Obsession came along, like that gave me this, fresh start, this new sense of recommitment and that type of thing. And so I can share about that, talk about how just months ago, my anxiety was just basically controlling my life. I didn't want to go to the gym. I didn't want to hardly go in public ever. I didn't want to dress up and go out. And, starting this new at-home program is what not only helped me lose 10 pounds or whatever, but it helped me fall in love with myself again and be able to be comfortable with my body for where it was. And, sharing that in the post, making this one a lengthier one, and, sharing the real and the raw struggles, the things that maybe are a little bit embarrassing for me to admit to. But I mean, I get so detailed in some of my posts to the fact that, I'll explain that like I would stand in the mirror and tug at my shirts in hopes that they would stretch out and not cling to my stomach fat like they were. And sharing like that detail right there is scary as shit. And it was hard for me to do in the beginning and it still is at times, trust me. Obviously the more that you do it, the easier it does get, but you are still going to have your times where certain points are going to be harder to share than others. But when I share those things, there are other women out there that are doing the same thing, that their clothes don't fit anymore. They don't want to go out in public, all those things that I mentioned. And when I share that, that's going to, pull at them. That's going to hit them. And that right there could be their defining moment for deciding to take the first step to join a challenge group or just start it, on their own, whatever it may be. So anyway, making posts like that at least once a month. And, right now you might be thinking like, but I don't know how to put that into words. Guys, I'm not a good writer. I'm not really good with words. I'm not good at expressing my emotion. And so sometimes it does take a little bit of time for me to kind of come up with my post. But regardless, think of like, what was your struggle in the past? Start the post with that. What motivated or inspired you to change? And then how did you do it? So just recapping, my struggle was my anxiety was so bad I couldn't go to the gym. but my motivation to change is I wanted to get back to the gym and to feel better about myself just in general, to not be embarrassed to see people in my hometown. And then how did I do it? I, recommitted to a new at-home program, whatever. Again, just trying to be as relatable and real and raw as you possibly can. And if you need to take like baby steps, if you're not ready to completely open up and be as detailed as I am in some of my posts, just put, something little out there each and every day or each and every week, and eventually it'll get a little bit easier. And crafting the post will be easier. And so the importance of sharing these, a little bit more detailed, lengthier posts once or twice a week, is these are the ones that lead to a call to action, to inviting people to join either a challenge group or the business opportunity, putting it right in the post, end it with, if this is you, I invite you to reach out to me. So, we can talk about your goals, so I can talk about helping you. Or if it's just something simple as, ending it and then saying, my next boot camp starts in September. If you're looking for a change and need a little bit more confidence and energy in your life, leave an emoji, that type of thing. So having that call to action to give people the opportunity to reach out to you, but with those specifically, and really any post that you ever make, this isn't really related to posting with a purpose, but it's still related to this. Go invite those people. Invite them to join your boot camp. Again, especially the ones where you included that call to action. Because I've had, a lot of people that will maybe like a transformation post where I talk about my next boot camp and say I got like 50 likes. Go and invite all those people personally, because a lot of them are like, oh, no, thanks. I just like supporting your journey or whatever, which is great. But I've had, a couple people before, and they'll be like, yeah, I just wasn't sure what your boot camp was all about. And in my mind, I'm like, well, why didn't you ask? But some people they're too lazy to send you a message. They're too scared. You don't know what's going on in their brain. So you have to send out those personal messages. And that's just like the perfect time and place to do it, when you make those call to actions, when you make those more in-depth posts. With the call to actions, send them a personal message. And guys, keep it simple. Hey, I wanted to thank you for liking my transformation that I posted last night. With my September boot camp coming up, I wanted to invite you to snag a spot. Are you interested? Boom. Simple as that. And then last point here, you guys. Sorry, I know I've kind of talked for a long time, but it's important to think about the graphics, the pictures that you're using when you post. I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't want you to, okay, let me back up. Like maybe 1 out of every 20 posts can be a transformation from Beachbody. Lift 4 results or to be mindset results or whatever, 1 out of every 20. Other than that, it needs to be you. It needs to have your face, whether it's just like a close-up selfie or a full body shot, whatever. You can do food posts every now and then, but especially with food, because guys, when people are scrolling social media, they're looking for something that's going to catch their eye, that's going to catch their attention. And if number one, it's not your face or you yourself, then it's going to be even harder. So if you're posting food, it has to look fucking amazing. And I know that sounds so stupid, but if it doesn't look good, people are not going to care. They're going to be like, yeah, whatever that is. It needs to be well lit. It honestly needs to look pretty. I posted, if you look, earlier tonight, I posted a smoothie bowl, and I stood in front of my window so that it had good natural lighting. I made the smoothie bowl look very aesthetic with the bananas lined up in a straight line. Do I make my food like that all the time? Hell no. But that's key if you're going to post food. Other than that, pretty much every other photo needs to have you in it. And again, they need to be well lit too. I could do a whole nother call on this, but like apps to use to help make your photos look brighter and clearer. I use Photify, like the word photo with FY at the end, Photify. Lightroom, like Light Room. That one is a little more in depth. I haven't quite figured out how to use all the tools yet, but you can at least like brighten a photo and make it look brighter if you don't have the best lighting at that moment. You know, I don't like to do a whole lot of like when I'm posting on my stories, it's a whole different ballgame. I'm talking right now about like posting on my Facebook wall or my Instagram wall. I don't like to do a lot of selfies where you can like tell that I'm doing this. I like to try and prop my phone up somewhere. Yeah. So doing that, please do not, and if you have done this in the past, it's okay. I did it. Don't take pictures of like your Shakeology bag or your Shakeology shaker cup or your Energized tub, and like just post that. I mean, yeah, I just don't like to include names of stuff in my photos. Yeah, because honestly, like you want to look as non-beach body as possible. Not to say that you shouldn't be proud as fuck of what you're doing, but that's just the way that human beings work. If they see a brand name or they think you're trying to sell something, they run. That's all there is to it. And so you just want to focus on sharing yourself, so that people will be drawn to you, so that then when you do talk about supplements or whatever later on in a personal message, like they're already going to love you and it won't matter. But anyway, yeah, and don't use stock photos from like, say you go to the To Be Mindset Facebook page and there's one of Alana holding like different food. I don't even know what I'm trying to think, but like you don't want to share her on your social media. You want to share you. So if you want to kind of recreate, like maybe she's holding like a banana in one hand and a bag of chips in the other. I don't know. I'm just coming up with stupid shit. Like recreate it yourself. People are gonna be more drawn to you. Like if they're scrolling and they see Alana's face on your feed, they're gonna be like, "Who's this lady?" And they're just gonna keep going. So don't be afraid to do things like that. But anyway, graphics, the picture, it needs to have your face. It needs to be well lit. Yeah, and you want to look happy and like energetic and that stuff because then people will be drawn to you. And they're gonna be like, "I want the life that she has." So finishing up here, you guys, it's Monday. You should have listened, I hope, to the National Wake Up Call. I know that sometimes it happens later on in the week, depending on your schedule, that's fine. But today's was amazing. I just listened to it tonight. I actually want to go back and re-listen to it and take notes from Brooke Lipoff. She talked about hosting like Facebook information groups for when they go to do a new boot camp. I'm not going to go into detail. You just need to go listen to the call yourself. But I always go to Team Beachbody 411, the Facebook page, because you can watch it or listen to the live. They do like a live video. I just like that format better. And then tomorrow, Tuesday, as long as everything goes like it's supposed to with my schedule, you know how that goes, I will go live in our coach team page here to walk you through what I do on a daily basis for like my inviting and follow-ups. Because yeah, I know that, I mean, those are the basic things you should be doing every single day, but I know those are the things that we tend to overcomplicate the most. And as soon as like, I can't even tell you like when it actually happened for me, but like when I started hitting Success Club, obviously that would have been it. I was like, wow, this is a lot easier than what I'd been trying to make it out to be. So anyway, I will do that tomorrow for you guys. I hope tonight's call helped. If you have any questions, of course, always just shoot me a message or post it in the team page. I will talk to you guys later.